was that?
I don't know.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that again. Actually, maybe wake somebody up that way.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, this is take like 9 fucking 1,000. Yeah, welcome to the Closet of Nonsense. This is episode 5, which we haven't titled yet. I'm finally not alone again. I don't like being alone. I got Skyler here. Skyrar.
It's your boy.
Yeah, DJ AKA. We talk about him a lot. We've told stories about him. And he hasn't even listened to the podcast, which is like the best part of this. He doesn't even listen to it. It's fantastic.
I probably won't listen to this one. I hate my voice, so, you know.
Sorry to hate you a little.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, well, you know, who doesn't?
Your mom loves you.
Yeah, she does, and thank God for it, because without her,
yeah, your mom
it'd be a
loves
rough
you.
Life.
Yeah, really.
I feel like little Annie, Orphan Annie, just except more redheaded, if that's possible.
No.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about that.
Crackers in my
Shut
up. Someone please hand myself.
Don't even do that. Yeah. So we basically skipped February because this has been a fucked year.
If we could skip the rest of the months too, that'd be nice.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah, time travel. We'll figure it out one of these days. I'm just gonna hit my head against the wall hard enough until I just wake up in 2025.
That could be arranged.
Yeah.
You know, my son actually, when he was like 8, came to me and said, "Dad, I'm gonna build you a time machine out of macaroni."
Well, he had the ingredients right for
Yeah.
sure.
Like everybody was making like macaroni, like he was looking at all these second graders and shit, and they were making macaroni like these cool like buildings and pyramids and things like that. He's like, "I'm building a fucking time machine. Fuck you all." And
Hey, more kudos to him.
yeah, goals.
If he figures it out, let me know.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna figure it out.
Yeah, I have faith in him.
I'm just terrified. I don't want him to figure it out because if he does, the world is over as we know it. He's
pretty
just gonna
much.
fuck everything because he's gonna go back to a point where he fucks everything up.
Yeah, well, I mean, who wouldn't? It's
Yeah.
the first thing I do, you know?
Yeah.
Well, second. Third. Hitler, 9/11. Fuck everything up. I'd go fix it.
Fix it.
Fix it.
Give
Fuck
everybody
it.
that glimmer
Yeah.
of hope, and they go, "Ha,
Yeah,
bitches." Yeah, that's mean, but that sounds about right. Anyway, yeah. This whole thing, when we started it, was obviously supposed to be a bunch of us, and 2 of the main people, being Kinnard and Ian, left. They moved away,
Yep, sad day.
and so they're not helpful. I keep saying
Only in
we're
our
gonna.
dreams.
Yeah, we keep saying we're gonna do the call in, and that doesn't happen. And then Ryland's like, "I want to be on the show," and then he moved like the next day.
Yep.
That's how that works. But they're doing their own podcast, him and John Devlin, and that's badass.
Yeah,
So
no
that's cool.
No prescription show. Go check it out. It's
Yeah,
good.
that one's very, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
So support them. It's actually very entertaining and very cool. So at least they're doing something, and hopefully at some point we'll be able to like tag team it together. And I do have all these things that I'm working on, but it's most important to get people involved, which is why it's good to have Skyler here. The one thing that we've managed to do in real life is like you've got new music.
Yep, indeed. Finally, I like I was talking on the previous take. It took about a year and almost 2 months. I announced this album that we dropped, Neon Corpse, CyberGothDanceParty. Go check it out. But yeah, a year and 2 months ago we announced it. Jobin's laptop took a big fat steaming shit, and so we had to start from scratch. And kind of thankful for it though, because this is some of the best music we've ever made. So yeah, a long time in the process, but it's finally here, and it is not completely hot garbage. So go check it, peep it up.
Okay, so you just said hot garbage. Here's the thing with hot garbage. Garbage as it decomposes gets hotter.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean that it's gonna be...
Yeah, it's gonna be fire here in like 3 months. Is it just, I'm like pissing on it. I'm throwing whatever I can in there to just kind of make this process go a little bit quicker, so it decays faster, so it just becomes steaming hot.
I can't wait for Jobin to hear this and
Yeah,
just like,
me
you
too.
fucking guy. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah,
Let that be a lesson to you, Jobin.
Yeah.
Show
This is what
up.
happens when
you let us do
leave
solo
me
work.
alone. This is what happens when you leave me alone. Come back.
That's the other big thing though, is that
You
Jobin...
said you were getting cigarettes. It's been 6 months.
That's so fucked up. Because I want to talk about the fact the reason Joman's not here is he just had a baby.
Yep, he has a brand new, beautiful baby boy, and hopefully he doesn't do what he did to me and dip out to go to the Conoco to get cigarettes, and I never see him.
Yeah, I mean, we have abandonment issues, but
Yeah.
at least he's being a good dad.
Yeah, true that. He is being an amazing father. It's been pretty crazy watching him blossom into that, because not too long ago, like a year or two ago, we were running around being rowdy as hell, so it's kind of nice that we're all at least a semblance of growing up.
Changes. Where did that come from?
I don't know.
My voices weird me out. But yeah, no, good. That's a good thing. New music coming. There's a bunch of new music coming this year from a lot of artists that we follow and work with, and I'm kind of excited.
It's always exciting.
Not always.
Not always.
Usually.
I'm
Often.
hard right now, so I don't explain that.
I don't want to think about that, much less explain it.
Well,
That's a mystery of science.
Someone call Dr. Phil or Bill. Bill or Phil. Get him here. Check out this.
I want to get Bill Nye the Science Guy on this one. I think he's just going to say you got a fungus.
Yeah,
That's what we're gonna go with.
Hey, I'm a fun guy. It's my dad joke for the episode.
Well, and ironically, the next thing I wanted to talk about, we met, God,
6-7 years ago.
6 years ago.
6 years ago.
Yeah, right when you got back from Boulder.
Boulder in Denver.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
East Side.
my favorite part of Denver. There's only two directions. There's towards the mountains and away from the mountains. That's like my favorite part of Denver.
The only direction here in Grand Junction is away from me. So,
I was just saying the only direction.
Omnidirectional.
Hell, just going down. That's okay. I wanted to, we've gone through a lot, and I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to take you when I first met you, because you kind of got thrust into the whole thing. You got grandfathered in being part of Ghost Gang.
It's actually funny when I'm trying to remember exactly the year. This is how I remember it, is that the Red Rocks concert with Mac Miller, Action Bronson, and Flatbush Zombies on Halloween in 2000, I want to say 15, I think. I don't know, maybe 2014. Was when I got my first DJ board from, I ordered it on Amazon. It came in the day before I left. I'm in the car with Erica and Ian on our way up, and I'm literally plugged into the aux cord with the board and my laptop, DJing on the way up, and I've never done it before, so it's just fucking trash. And so literally I get back from that trip, and Fly Sky, who I've known Kendrick and Allegiance and Fly Sky for. We were in college at the same time. We used to party a lot. And he hit me up because I'd been posting videos and stuff. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know you DJ." And I was literally 2 weeks into it. I was like, "Yeah, I DJ." Yeah, totally, dude. Word.
Fake this.
So I link up with them, and then literally not even 2 weeks later, I'm on stage with them opening up for Chris Calico at a sold out show. So it was kind of a crash course into all this. So ever since then, it's just been go, go, go. So it's been kind of crazy.
Yeah, and that's what makes it really interesting, because looking at how you DJ now and the different styles of mixing that you do, it's everybody grows in their craft, but you literally went, I don't know what I'm doing.
I have no clue.
But I'm a professional.
Yep, I'm a big boy. Take me seriously.
Yeah. So,
Hi
of course,
there, kids.
Back then, of course, what did we do when we needed to get to know people? Was, of course, our first meeting was at the photo shoot. We did a photo shoot out in the desert.
Out to the desert. I remember I drove you.
Yeah, because I didn't want to drive.
In the Exploder. Which exploded. That was the first car. But I remember meeting you that day, and I was like, I don't know who the hell this dude is, but get in my car. We're going to the desert.
Yep.
Take some pictures of me.
That's exactly how that worked. I think it was a week later. Everybody was supposed to go out. Everybody was going to go meet downtown.
Oh yeah.
And it was just you and me.
Yep. And that's pretty much set the standard for the years to come.
Yeah, because and I'm not going to use the dude's name. There's this one regular downtown who pisses everybody off, and we were at Thunderstruck, and dude comes up behind us and keeps talking, keeps doing stuff, and finally he's like, "What? Are you gay?" And Skyler turns to him and says, "Yeah, dude, I suck all the dicks. I'll suck your dick. I'll suck it right now.
All of them. Give them."
And the guy just gets completely flustered and blushes and walks away, and I realized, yep, I've made a friend for life.
Yeah.
Because anybody who will get a guy to leave you alone by just throwing something like that back in your face.
Well, something I found, because, working downtown and in the bar industry, especially in like a super hyper masculine scene, I mean, you can't go downtown here without seeing at least 4 to 5 Tap Out or American Fighter t-shirts. And I found that a lot of dudes, especially bros, my Chads out there, shouts out to my Chads.
Chads and Kens.
Yep. They are so hyper aware of their own repressed homosexual tendencies that instead, like, I've literally been in the middle of almost fist fights, and if you just kind of like nudge that a little bit, because I mean, if you really like break it down, a lot of male to male conflict, fighting, all that stuff is like really kind of like a little gay.
It kind of is.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And no disrespect to all my, all of my same sex friends out there, because shouts out, mad love. But, it's so funny that when you point that out a little bit, the Chads kind of take a step back, and it's almost like a sense of self-awareness, like, oh shit, man, I don't want to look gay, because maybe I am a little bit. I don't know.
You
So
show
freak out a little bit.
me a guy who hasn't had a homosexual thought, and I'll show you a fucking liar.
Yep, big
it's
facts.
that simple.
Yeah, there's some handsome ass dudes out there. Man.
It's just how that works. I
Good-looking
don't.
ass dudes, Who
The
knows?
sooner you get comfortable with that, the better it's gonna be.
Exactly. Man.
The last major physical altercation I was getting in the middle of, and this is back in, God, I guess September, that wasn't work related. This guy was just being a prick and was just talking shit to like 4 or 5 of my friends and being an asshole. And he was right in my face, and he kept like breathing really heavy, and he was just a little bit shorter than me. And I'm not tall.
Should have kissed him.
I did. I kissed him on the nose.
There you go.
He was
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
and I was like,
Yeah,
I kissed his
man.
nose,
Yeah,
and he
there you
just,
go.
the look on his face, I could have punched him and knocked him the fuck out, and it would have wounded him less than that little peck on the nose.
Hey man, see, that's the
Because
moral of the
all
story.
8, 9 of his boys just went, oh,
Yeah.
and I owned
The
it.
moral of the story, man. Don't fight, just kiss each other.
Yeah.
Fuck it. More
I
kisses, less punches.
Yeah, it was, I don't know. Of course, and you and I deal with conflict very
Oh
differently.
yeah, no, I don't. I try to avoid it at all possible times. I try to avoid it unless it gets to a point where it's like, all right, no, this has to be handled right now.
Yeah.
But luckily, that doesn't happen too often.
And whereas
because stated before, kisses, not punches.
yeah, I tend to look for
Big
conflict.
smunches.
I'm into conflict for whatever
Yeah.
reason. I don't know. And I mean,
Okay, Chad.
I stopped a fight 2 weeks ago. I'm on canes, and a lot of people know this. I'm actually injured pretty bad. I can't walk,
Yeah.
and that's part of why my year's been so fucked.
Noodle
And there was a
legs.
fight going on, and we let it go for a few seconds, and I was finally like, okay. So I grabbed the biggest dude by the arm and like was holding him. If he'd moved, I was on my ass. There was no way.
Yeah.
But it just freaked him out that I literally just hooked him up and was holding him,
Wow.
and all my Cam and Jazz and all them, they're just like, what the fuck are you doing, you stupid ass?
Yeah,
I was laughing though. I was like, what?
It's like with bears and stuff. You make yourself bigger than.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Well, I just figured, stop one fight, and if I got my ass kicked, we all know I'm okay with pain.
Yeah.
It just works.
No, it's unfortunate that the scene downtown has kind of devolved into. It's all it is really.
I keep hoping it's gonna get better.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, like ever since Sabrosa's closed, shout out to Sabrosa's. If ever, that's
Carrie,
the
we miss
OG
you.
Spot. Seriously, man, Tyler, Fat. What was this little thing with I always forget the other dude's name. The Fat Boys Club, or what was it? They had hats. They had embroidered.
What was that
hats.
fucking called?
I don't know. It was good.
Brandon was in it too.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking. I miss those dudes.
Big black bear fucker.
Yeah.
He was in that too. God damn, what was that called?
I don't
Anyway,
know.
that was funny.
But yeah, no.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Sabrosa. Is that like I don't know what it was. It was like the magic thread that kind of held together the actual like fun downtown.
Well,
as
and there's
soon as
nobody
that-
downtown trying to get people to work together.
Yeah,
either. And that's the thing is
exactly,
like
man.
being a promoter in this town, being anything like that. Like it
Yeah.
used to be, we all talked. I mean,
Mhm.
it was
I
Carrie, Cam, me, Tia, Liz, John, all of us. We like got together, we talked, we actually communicated on the regular, and that's not going on down
No,
there. You can just
yeah.
tell there's a lot of animosity, and it sucks because I mean, personalities like Sid
oh yeah
and
bro,
and
it's,
Sorg. I mean, Sorg's in
yeah.
Denver now, and he's killing it. I'll give him credit, but you don't see Sid downtown. You don't.
which is sad. He was like my first bartender.
Yeah.
Like he was like the dude that like because I turned 21, and I was working downtown at the time. before I started bartending, I was like working at that pizza joint, Junction Squared with Tyler actually.
With Tyler, yeah.
Yeah, and so I'd go to Sabrosa's all the time after I got off work or before I went into work. So I'd be in there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and Sid was the only reason that wasn't depressing. Dude, if I was in there just drinking at 2 o'clock in the afternoon,
his hip hop Tuesdays. His hip hop Tuesdays were the best.
If it wasn't for that, man, I would have been just like slumped over on the bar.
Me and Pants and a bunch of us go in there just with crayons and markers and just tag the shit out of the tables and draw and listen to whatever he was spinning. It was fun. Yep. I actually, Sabrosa was one of the first places I got back into karaoke. When it first opened, it was on the small side still. Mm-hmm. I love that shit. Yep. I love going there.
It was actually one of the... I remember... That was right after the Chris Calico show when we opened for Wheelchair Sports Camp. Mm-hmm. That was at Sabrosa's. That was a fun show. Yeah, it was like the second or third show I ever did. So
man, that was a rough show. That one was hard for me to set sound for.
Yeah, I mean...
Because I had a show there and a show at the Mesa.
Yeah.
I had both shows at the same time.
Yeah.
So that was a rough one, but we did it. It was fun.
Yeah, hopefully it gets better. I'm wishing for it. We luckily got like a really good community kind of. We got a good grassroots kind of.
The foundation's still here.
There, and people are hungry
just scattered.
For it. I'm excited with this mutual friend show coming up. They've been a big supporter of, the sets that are a little bit too avant-garde or too kind of abrasive for the regular downtown scene. Like,
heavy punk and
heavy punk, heavy rock, some metal, our EDM stuff, like getting in anywhere else.
Letting some of the political stuff through and yeah.
Yeah, so it's
and you got guys like Spurlock and them, they're doing their spoken word thing, and there's some really, really good open mics going on now. I mean, there's no lack of talent, but there used to be bands in this town, and there's no bands right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much just Zoloft. I mean, honestly.
Really, there's a couple of bigger, there's some metal bands that are out there.
Yeah,
and stuff,
there's
people, they're
Talia's
just not doing...
great, there's great, Ornette, shouts out to Ornette. They're
amazing.
They're
killer.
But I was actually just talking to Dylan Forster not too long ago, and they haven't done a solid Ornette show in a hot minute, so I'm hoping to get them back into it, or not necessarily back into it, but, get on a bill again with them, because that was one of my favorite
just fun to play with, and they fit with anybody.
Oh yeah, no, they've got a great sound.
The diversity.
Yep. So hopefully the foundation's there, so hopefully we can get it back to where, not even back, because fuck going back, it's moving forward. Hopefully it just gets better.
Well, okay, you say fuck going back, but there is a point where you look at, okay, where did we
go wrong?
Yeah, where did we take the wrong path? Where did we go back to there and then take a different path? And that's really what that's about.
I ponder on that a lot, because I even just personally, like, going downtown, even going to some of the shows, like, I try, it's I don't know what it is. It's just a different energy, and I'm hoping that we can kind of come together as a community and make a fun, safe, healthy, supporting community, and it's hard.
I have a hard time with it because I'm blacklisted from all the places the shows are. So I can't even go. Yeah. So I have a hard time because all I hear is the negative. It's like people just want to tell me, it's this and this, and tell me the negatives because they think that's what I want to hear. Yeah. I want people to have a good time. Exactly. I don't want people to fail. I want music to fucking kill it. I want art to kill it. That's been my goal this whole time.
You're not wrong. It's just like, because it's almost like everybody's blacklisted, because it's like you go to a show and there's really not that many people there. Even Mesa's shows are kind of like, I don't remember the last time that I played the Immortal Technique show, and there was a healthy amount of people there, but I go to some of these shows and I'm like, where the fuck is everybody? Like, these places, like, certain shows and artists should just be kill it here, like, because if it was a show in Denver, sold out, but it's here and no one comes out. I don't know if it's because they don't want to pay $10-$20 for a ticket, or if
part of that's promotion.
Yeah,
I mean, Joe and I talked about that on our episode. Like,
it's hard, man.
There are kids here who have never been to a live music event and they don't know how to.
Yeah, I want to do another Recharge event that we did.
That was fun.
That was fun. That was a big eye-opening experience for me. That was the first show that I ever pretty much, I had you take the back seat on that one so I could do running sound, do all the promo,
You cried so hard that night.
I cried so hard, dude. But
don't ever tell me you're capable of doing something unless you expect me to throw you to the fucking wolves.
And I'm glad, it was fun, man.
No, it was great, and being able to, that was
behind it, and it was so. I really want to get together and do that again. I want to try and do a block party, this summer down on Colorado, getting like grassroots cycles, getting Barons, getting Mutual, just down in Colorado, all those businesses, low key.
And shutting
down the street, and have some fun, man.
I think that'd be killer.
Maybe do something for for a cause and just kind of have some fun and bring some people down. And because that's the thing, man, it's something I have to constantly remind myself of, is because being an artist, you kind of, not necessarily a sense of grandeur, but you sometimes forget that the whole point is for people to have fun. You know what I mean? It's like, because
it's not just expressing yourself.
Yeah,
it's
you're so wrapped up
for...
in the artistry of it. Of like, oh, I spent so much. This is my baby, and then this is the whole id and super ego and all this shit conflicting. And then sometimes you just got to take a step back and be like, okay, well, are people having fun? Like, that's the main.
Well, and I always have to remind people that art is only as good as the person perceiving it.
Yep, exactly.
Like, what really says what is great art? It's not a fucking credit. It's not album sales.
Yeah, I hate most like what's the like splatter art and like what's the word for that? Subject. God.
I don't exactly know. You're really not good at this
game. Yeah, I know. I hate it. But so like I don't know, like splatter art. Like
you mean like paint?
Yeah, well, I love painting, but I'm saying like when abstract. There we go. God,
okay.
Abstract art. I honestly, a lot of abstract art I don't like, but does that mean abstract art's not good? No, it just means I don't like it. So it's
and okay, and then it depends. Like, I don't like true abstract, but you get abstract thrown into graffiti.
Oh yeah. I mean, you get like
the big giant heads and things like that. I fucking love that shit.
Polka trash kind of.
Oh yeah,
a little bit of that.
I love that shit. I love the mishmash element of it. But you're right. But that's just it. It's the same thing as like people are like, well, what do you listen to? And everybody's always shocked when they find out what I'm listening to. Because it really depends on music. To me is autobiographical. Yeah. But it's also whatever I'm feeling.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So if there's a moment where I'm like, well, I really need to focus and I'm really in the mode and I'm going to be writing 4,000 fucking spreadsheets today, I'm probably going to listen to classical or jazz. Yeah. Because I don't want to be distracted. Yep. I want to be enlightened and I want to feel like I'm just chill, because otherwise I'm going to get angsty and pissed off and throw stuff.
Yep. I mean, that's the same. EDM is one of those things for me that I can't really listen to unless I'm in a scene of, or in a mood of like.
I have a hard time listening to it unless I'm DJing. When I'm DJing, when I'm throwing a set,
I love it, man. It's one of my favorite music to listen to.
Yeah.
When I'm doing that, but I mean, there's obviously, because I love like a lot of the more lo-fi, a lot of the, a lot of the stuff, like some of the newer house music that we're making and a lot of that kind of stuff.
I like big house because it's got that trance element to it.
Yeah, trance and trip hop. A lot of that stuff is I really like listening to that in my downtime. But when it comes to like heavy, grimy, dub, drum and bass and stuff like that, I either have to be like on a run or doing something.
And a lot of people that way with with metal too.
Same.
They'll listen to what they call metal, like mainstream metal, and that's cool to like drive to. But then when I put my metal in, they're like,
scared.
Yeah, I mean,
I actually love listening to metal before my sets because I mostly DJ hip hop, and which I love. So that's what got me into music. But it's nice to like kind of get like listen to something that I won't be able to play, and then after my sets I don't listen to music at all.
Oh, I'm the same way. I have to take a day off.
No, I literally I will drive home in silence.
And of course, a lot of people don't realize like I've been back to it, and we've actually now DJ'd together a few times in front of people, and that's always been really interesting because my favorite, because when it's you and me and Jobin in particular, that's three very, very different styles.
Oh yeah, no, it's like it's perfect though. Yeah, it's perfect as far as like a good set. You know what I mean? A good variety hour kind of thing for people coming into a bar. It's a really great thing.
Yeah, you'll listen to one style of music for maybe 10 minutes, and sometimes it's song to song. We change up pretty rapidly, which is cool.
No, it's awesome.
But yeah, I have to take a day off, and even after working, like if I do club sets, like the next day I'm just like, God, I don't want to do this.
Man,
I don't want
club sets, dude. As much as I miss being in the bars and doing stuff like that,
it's rough.
It's rough, man. Playing for 5-6 hours, and having Debbie and fucking Bradley coming up, hey, can you play some more Drake? I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Drake, but God, man, like I just
there's only so much you can take. Like
every weekend for
I'm not gonna play the same Megan Thee Stallion song 8 fucking times in a night. Like I'm sorry you weren't here earlier when I played the first remix.
Yeah, the reason I got into music, especially DJing, was because I was like, man, there's so much. Like I always
there's so much good music that people don't.
Oh, I'd always hear like, hip hop's dead. Like all this fucking dumb bullshit. And when it's not, you're just not listening. You're just listening to the radio, and there's nothing wrong with radio music. I love pop music. Like pop music's great. Like but you can't just sit there and say like, oh, hip hop's dead because all that's been played on the radio is Drake and Future and a little Uzi. It's like mumble rap. It's like no, dude, it's
There's so many different
Fuck
things. I
off.
mean, you got Juice WRLD, you got
you've got so many great MCs out there. And so the reason I got into DJing was because it's like, there's plenty of people that make like music that would be cool in a club that's not getting played in a club. So that's why I started doing it. And then you start doing that and you piss people off because you're not playing the top 40 hits. When it's like, bro, you could go down to, I could literally walk from end to end of the bars on Main Street and hear the same exact songs. I literally pop into a bar and hear exactly what was just playing in the last one, which is cool. Like, don't get me wrong, you play hits. It's a thing. That's what it's part of your job. But at the same time, it's like,
I think that's why I like doing the mashups that I do, is
dude,
because I'll throw those hits. I'll throw that comfort, and I'll throw Rage Against the Machine in the middle of a fucking.
You can always tell I'm having a bad night if I'm playing mostly hits.
Yeah.
Because I'm over it. I'm like, whatever. I'll just feed the people the slop they want. You know what I mean? And like I said, there's nothing wrong with hits. I mean, it's good. I mean, it's popular because it's good.
I love going and watching Max on a good night.
Oh, bro, Max.
That guy throws his mixing. Has gotten
dude. People don't give him enough credit
flawless.
For,
he takes stuff that he hears things on a whole different level, and watching him take top 40 and some of the newer hip hop that isn't so. It's unpopular in its popularity, and he just throws it. He makes it look easy, and I fucking love that. Man. And there are those DJs that do that, and I respect the shit out of that. But yeah, it does get old to hear the same music all the time and request the same music. And I mean, God, working in a strip club, man, I was trying to teach every girl, like, get a musical identity just so you fucking separate yourself. If not for the sake of the customers, for me, because I'm playing the same fucking songs a million times over.
That's
and then the girls start stealing from each other, and it's like, no, you got a girl whose signature is
music.
this.
It's like MySpace top, like a music playlist on MySpace.
Yeah, it's like, no, there's so much out there that just give yourself a chance to do it. I love people who challenge that.
Oh, yeah, man.
Not many people know what your dad did for many, many years.
Oh, yeah. House, Senate, Sheriff's Department, police officer, the whole...
To clarify in a couple of words, conservative Republican.
Yeah. He was a pretty moderate conservative. I wouldn't say he was super hardcore.
Especially as he's gotten older.
I wouldn't even consider me,
But, I mean, hearing about you putting Obama stickers all over his truck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he hated that. He hated that.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. My dad and I see a pretty eye to eye.
Yeah.
I am, in some ways, far more liberal than anybody else ever realizes it. But in other ways, I'm extremely conservative. I'm a huge mishmash. It's item to item with me.
Mm-hmm. Same, man.
But
I think
watching, knowing your dad as well as I do, having essentially lived next door to him now for 2 years, we talk all the time.
Oh, of course.
We've done things, and it's very interesting to watch
sure.
that. I'll have the same conversation with you that I have with him, and it's night and day different. Actually, it's not even that. It's Earth and another universe different.
Right. Yeah. See, it's every time him and I get into a discussion, we always end up almost in the same place. It's just from opposite sides. Because that's just politics in general. People don't understand that it's supposed to be a consensus. You concede. That's what.
Speaking for the people.
Yeah,
it's what's supposed to be.
Yeah,
but
well, you.
How often do you think that's actually happened?
Never. I don't think it's ever happened. I don't think it ever will. Hopefully it does, but whatever, man. I'm so drained of this. Like, oh God, man. I swear to God, if they make me vote for Joe Biden, I'm gonna be so upset, dude. I'm gonna be so upset. Creepy Uncle Joe, dude. I don't want... Nah, dog. I'll do it if I have to, but please don't make me.
See, and I'm never that person who will vote popular based on, I hope this person wins. I actually do vote my heart and vote my mind.
Yeah.
Which means there are times where I've put people in that I know there's no chance this person's winning, but I'm going to vote honest. I can't bring myself to do otherwise. I just,
Lick the boot.
Yeah, if I was a Pastafarian or... I mean, that's just it, is I can't register myself in the caucus or any of that stuff because I'm so independent, because there are certain aspects of every political aspect that I view, and I'm like, that makes sense.
I think it's dumb to lump yourself into something and just like put yourself in a box just because, like, label it, you know what I mean? It's like, because I always like say it like this, I'm pretty fiscally conservative but socially liberal. I think there's a lot of financial, other than trickle down economics, I think there's a lot of sense to be made out of the conservative mindset behind finances. And when it comes to, pretty much everything else, pretty liberal when it comes to all that jazz. I think that, and kind of like you said, picking out what you believe is to be true, researching it, and then going from there instead of just being like, I'm a conservative, so I gotta abortion.
Well, and so many people do it based on what their parents were, their grandparents were, and
which is whatever. But think for your fucking self, dude.
yeah, I laugh at how many people come at me and they think because I mean, and I'll go on record, I am not pro-military, but I'm definitely pro-troops.
Yeah, of course, dude. You have to be. Well,
Like,
people, what's funny to me is like people like, oh, they're like socialism's gonna ruin the country. I'm like, bro, you don't realize we have the largest socialist program on the earth, and it's the military. That's a socialist construct. Like that is literally like a fire department. And
so many people hear socialist and they think communist, which they're opposites.
They're polar opposites.
They're opposites.
Yeah.
People don't realize that, and too many people are uneducated in that situation, and that's a huge part of that. I am, in many ways, very socialist.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I really am.
Well,
I got called a libertarian the other day, and I almost got offended. And I was like, "Libertarians for smart people." And they're like, "You don't think you're smart?" I'm like, "Not that smart. I'm not that smart."
Every time I hear the word libertarian, I always just think of like the in my head, I just imagine dudes in like blue jackets throwing tea off of a boat. Like I don't know why I picture the Boston Tea Party, but I do. I just do. Well, I guess that's probably why they're named. Oh, okay, yeah, I forgot that there's an actual political party. Yeah, I fucking forgot about that. Yeah. So shit, someone else had the same thought as me.
Yeah. No, when I hear Tea Party, I always think of like a person who's got all the fucking tea on somebody else. That's my thought.
Yeah, when I hear Tea
but I deal
Party,
mostly with gossiping people. So
whenever I hear, I don't know why Tea Party makes me think of like 2 Girls 1 Cup.
Jesus Christ.
There's probably, I guarantee if you go onto some like explicit websites and type in Tea Party, you're gonna find some fucked up shit.
Well, it's like when you're looking for grandma's recipe at Thanksgiving, you put in cream pie. You're not gonna get what you want.
Or you are.
Oh, okay, fair.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna get what you didn't know you wanted.
Here you go, Gam Gam. That's how you make it.
Yep.
Oh Lord,
no,
someone shoot me.
Well, and I mean, religion's the same way, politics the same way, all of it.
Man,
it's all we could.
Yeah, I could go into it. I don't know, man. I've just been, as I've gotten older, I just stopped giving a shit. You know what I mean? Do what you want to do, man. Good for you. If that makes you a better person and that makes you happy, I'm fucking
as long as you're
thrilled.
not hurting
society, bro. Don't
be damaging.
Don't be mean to other people.
Don't be a douche.
Yeah, don't. Yeah.
Nobody needs a new douchebag.
No, I got 2 of them already.
Yeah.
They're both full. So I need someone to empty them for me. So if you guys know anybody.
Douche-empterine?
Yeah, they're like industrial sized ones though. So.
Industrial douche.
Yeah, So I need help.
I just had this image of a giant bellows full of vinegar.
Yeah.
It was not a good thing.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was not a good thing. And you did that.
Yeah, man. I mean, so it's as simple as just don't be a dick, man. Just like live your life, be happy, and believe what you want to believe, and there you go.
It's okay to be a dick if you own it.
Sure. I mean,
I know a couple people. They're just assholes. I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, you've worked for me.
Yeah.
You know what it's like.
Yeah.
I am fucking mean.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a nice person. Yeah. I am not a nice person.
Hey,
but
sometimes, there's a difference between being stern and getting, especially when it comes to getting a job done. But I don't know. There's a difference. It might be minute, but it's there. So I don't know. Yeah,
I tend to feel like I'm an asshole, but I kind of own it.
Yeah, it is better to own it. I mean, it's better to own up to anything.
Fair.
Exactly.
I just really do.
Yeah.
I think that is, and does that mean that I'm wrong? I mean, I'm not trying to hurt people's feelings, but I'm getting shit done, and if it means that, sometimes it's just, there are those moments, but I'm also that guy who doesn't forget, like hitting Kenny in the balls a year later after I told him, if you do this, I'm hitting you in the nuts.
I'm surprised he was still able to have a kid after that.
Yeah. I got him good.
Malcolm does have a big head. It's like 98%.
I'm not gonna take responsibility
I think that's
for
your
that.
Fault.
Dude, I can barely take responsibility for the fucked up things that are wrong with my kids. I really don't want to be held responsible for other people's kids.
Well,
I'm good at the emotional damage, the gift that keeps on giving.
I'm just gonna blame everything on you. I'm just gonna continue doing that.
I think, I'm okay.
Things,
I'm oddly okay with this.
Everything that's wrong.
Everything's ever gone wrong, ever?
Ever. Dinosaurs.
My fault.
Your fault.
Totally my fault.
Cottage cheese. Your fault.
Yeah, that's definitely my fault.
Yeah, it's definitely your fault.
That's definitely my fault.
Cottage cheese is fucking disgusting.
I am on 100% agreeing with you.
Yeah, okay, thank God.
Yeah, no.
I don't get it.
No, there are very few food items that I will not eat, and that's one of them. I don't like cottage cheese.
I don't get the point of it. What do you put it on? I've seen people eat it just with the spoon. Like,
Yeah. I remember doing that as a kid. Like, my mom would just hand me cottage cheese in a spoon, and I thought it was normal. And I was like, this is really gross, but
No,
I'm not going to eat if I don't
good.
eat this, so I guess I'm eating this.
Fuck
And
that.
then I realized, oh, I don't have to eat this? There's other foods?
why is it called cottage cheese? Is it made in a cottage, or where does the cottage come from?
I am not a cheese aficionado enough. This is where...
Someone send us an email.
Yeah, we need somebody to tell us, because I'm guessing
I'm
that
not gonna
it was...
Google it right now.
I'm
I
guessing
could
that it's
Google it.
probably
I'm
because
gonna
it's really
wait.
easy to make.
Yeah.
It just ferments itself and curdles. So I think it's just, you could make it in a cottage. That's been my assumption. I could be completely wrong. And now I'm going to have to look this up, because it's going to bother me.
Well, I'm just gonna. How about this?
I know
I'm
Cheetos
gonna
were
build
invented,
a
but
cottage.
I don't need that.
I'll build a cottage, and I will
just fill it
see
with
if
milk?
it makes cheese.
We'll fill it with milk and see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Just if it's got nipples,
You can milk it.
yeah. So, just get a
Cat nipple cheese.
Yeah, whatever. You got nipples? Come to the cottage.
Wow.
Oh God.
Did you just invent a Pornhub channel?
Shit.
I think you did.
Think I did.
There's the next million.
It's like, dudes, I just saw this video of that dude. It was a while ago, but that kid that like jumped into one of the aquariums at like a fish, like he was at a zoo or an aquarium or something, and like jumps in, and the caption was like, "The day I became famous." It's like, no, dude, you're not famous. Like, you're a dick that jumped into a fucking fish tank. Like, that's infamous. You're like infamously an asshole. So like, people get them confused.
But you still get that sense of celebrity from it, and that's the thing that kills me. Look at I mean, Bad Baby. There's a fucking great example of somebody who
she took that and fucking
ran with it.
Yeah. I mean, I won't speak. I mean, don't get me wrong. She makes them. They slap. She got some bangers. She got some bops. I'll give her that. They're not necessarily the most
intellectually driven.
Yeah,
no.
but I mean, like, for club bangers, what's the
Bestie
White
is the one that
Horse?
kills me. Bestie's the one I'm like, okay, I like that
Yeah,
track.
it's alright, man. But she is a smart business child. I don't know how she's like 16, 17.
I don't know how old she is now. I think she's old enough to drink now.
When that shit happened, she was like 14.
Yeah, she was a teen.
She took that shit and ran.
Yeah,
bro.
she fucking did.
Killed it.
Yeah, so
I mean, yeah, it has its ups, but
Paris Hilton.
But at the same time, well, Paris Hilton. Yeah, I mean, but like, there. I don't know, man. Like, that's not what I want. I've always thought that it'd be, for the longest time. I mean, especially when I first started my career doing the covering the face thing. I looked up to, especially The Weeknd when he was first coming out, when he dropped the trilogy, the original 3 mixtapes, Echoes of Silence, Thursdays, and House of Balloons. No one really knew who he was. He never did an interview. He never was on camera. It was really hard to find a picture of him. And
Kanye
MF
West
Doom,
was the same way early on.
Yeah, MF Doom, Daft Punk. You got
Lots of mystery to it.
Yeah, well, and just more of like being able to have that career and like success and that the recognizability or being
the recognition. And
the recognition.
You have a little bit of
also
anonymity.
Being able to, I want to go get a fucking burger. And
well, that's like Bear Grylls is the one that comes to mind that I'm close to. You look at RJ and that dude he only just took the helmet off 2 years ago.
Yeah, no,
year and a half ago.
It was like because when we went to that show at when we were doing the filming.
Was it Bluebird or what? I can't remember what
it
we saw.
It wasn't Bluebird. It was Summit Music Hall. I think.
No, it wasn't Summit.
It was Summit? I don't know. Okay. I remember when we went there, that was before he really started taking it off.
Yeah.
And so, that kind of concept always really intrigued me.
Well, the reason that when I found out is because he was actually tour managing, and I knew him as a tour manager. And then I was like, wait a second, you're Bear Grylls.
Yeah.
Like, it took me working with him 2 or 3 times where I was like, bro. And he was like, yeah, you caught on. But lots of people didn't really, because they was like, he's the tour manager, and he just happened to disappear for dinner during his set. And the whole crew played that up. Yeah. I love that. Dead Mouse. All that shit. Like, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of, especially in the French DJ scene, there's a lot of French DJs that they have no names. Yeah. It's literally just like...
Bro, and it kind of comes back to that whole thing of, like, what it's all about. And it's about the music. It's about having fun, and... I think we get a little bit lost, and don't get me wrong, like I fall victim to it. I mean, Kanye West, you brought him up. I absolutely love the man. You know what I mean? I'd like to think what he's been doing for the past few years is like a very more.
I know you hope it's a marketing plan. And it's just this huge genius thing, but
I think it's a Andy Kaufman kind of live art thing. I'm hoping to God, but whatever. Regardless,
I think he's just lost it.
I love the persona, dude. I love the the character, the stage performance that he does, and so it's kind of a little oxymoronic. I really love I think we've gotten a little lost when it comes to what's important. The fact that, public image and a lot of these shit that has nothing to do with the actual art sells albums. Like, I mean, that's just marketing in general, I guess. Sex sells, like, whatever. But I don't know.
Well,
it's
and of course, especially in hip hop, it
Yeah.
happens in DJ, but in hip hop too. Like, you're always going to be compared to whatever's big right now.
Oh yeah, of
Like,
course.
oh, if you did this, you would be huge. Like, if you
Yeah.
got face tattoos, you'd be huge. If
Yeah.
you dyed your hair blonde, you'd be huge.
Yeah.
Like, you hear that all the time.
Yeah.
And
It
what matters is the music.
Yeah,
And it
well,
was the same in the punk scene. And
Yeah.
granted, yeah, I'm old and I remember this, but like in the late '80s, early '90s, like, it became a fashion statement more than a music statement.
Oh, exactly. No,
And-
and that's don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with fashion statements, but at the same time, like, I don't know. It's
That doesn't render clout to your artistic
Yeah, it
ability.
doesn't
Like,
mean shit.
I don't give two shits if you
Yeah.
can fucking look the part. I want you to not be playing a part. I want
Yeah,
it to be real.
exactly.
And
That's-
that's the thing I
that's-
struggle with
yeah.
really hard with me is that because I do wear the masks when I'm DJing. I do face backwards when I'm playing drums. I
Yeah.
never show my face. I don't appear
Yeah.
anywhere. Like, that to me, I love... Well, firsthand. You've had people talk to you for
Thinking-
upwards
thinking
of half an hour thinking that
I
you're...
was you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're the photographer. You're the guy standing
and I'm
up front.
just too fucking stupid to even realize what
Yeah,
the
well,
fuck's
you just-
going
you
on.
just
I'm
keep
like,
talking to people. Well, you're just personable, and I'm not.
Well, I'm just confused. I'm like, do I know this person? Because I'm bad with, like, do I know? Should I know them? And so
How
I just-
drunk was I when I met this person?
Yeah, exactly.
like-
And so I just, like, keep going with it, and then I realize, oh, they think I'm a completely different person.
Yeah. Well, and that happened to Cody the last time we were in Denver too. People thought that because he was so nicely
Yeah.
dressed and he just looked so proper and
Very
attractive, and they're
proper.
like, he must be the photographer, he
Yeah.
must be the designer,
then-
and I'm
then
sitting in the back
the
like, fuck y'all.
grungy metal Shrek
Yeah,
tones.
yeah, I'm just sitting in the back like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't care. And it, like, for me, I just never wanted it to be a shtick. I never wanted it to be something. I do struggle
Yeah.
with that. So.
No, it's interesting, man, and I'm, it's all a big part of its own ecosystem and kind of universe. It all plays into itself. So, who's to say? I don't know. I don't even know. Who the fuck knows? I don't.
We're not paid to know.
me.
We're not paid to know.
I'm not even paid to do anything. I don't. Someone come help me. He's holding a gun.
I'm just gonna let you keep floundering because I mean, on video it's even better because those of you that only listen and don't actually watch this, like, we're actually gonna put this one up on YouTube because we finally had the camera working correctly. I did film the one with me and Jobin, but it was all blurry and weird, and there was dogs and pizza and delivery. It was a mess. It was a fucking mess. I'm actually filming this one. He keeps looking at his watch because he's got to actually do because
Yeah, I gotta go
we've been
to
doing
work.
merch and he's got to go work his real job.
My real job, and then I gotta go work my other real job tomorrow. And then
Yabba
my
yab.
other job. Yeah, I'm working
Yeah.
3 of them right now. I
Yeah.
hate it.
Yeah.
I'm super
Well,
excited to be at one.
it's what it takes.
Yep.
Musically, I am going to open and close this one with CyberGothDanceParty. I'm
Word.
gonna do a couple tracks off of that because
Yeah.
it is really good.
It
And I
is
don't say
good,
that
man.
it's and that's coming from a heart. Like, this is not a Prophecy Records thing. This is not
Mm-hmm.
part of the label. Yes, we all work together. Yes, we're all friends. But they want to do this indie.
Yeah, we wanted to kinda
and I
just
support
check it out.
anybody wanted to try and do it on their own. I'm gonna back you.
Yeah.
That's just who I
We
am and how I've
appreciate
always
it,
been.
and we love you for it.
So they do have a show. I'm gonna get this one up and running here this weekend so that
Cool.
we can promote for the
Yeah.
show. That's on March 13th in Grand Junction at Mutual Friends. Mutual Friends is a great shop, skate shop. You guys should check that out too.
Mm-hmm, for sure, definitely check it out. Go support local business.
Yep.
Man. It's
Now-
important.
Do us a favor. We're not getting, now that we're gonna try and do this, if you push us and you give us ideas, we're gonna probably start recording more.
Mm-hmm.
And now that his schedule's locking down a little
Yeah.
bit,
Now that
Skyler's
I'm
gonna be
actually
around
have
more.
Some fucking free time.
Yeah, like when we actually do that. I want to get a bunch of, obviously, locals. I'm going to be traveling a little bit here coming in April, May. I'm going to Hollywood. I'm going to Atlanta. I'm going to New Orleans. I'm going to Florida. I got some touring coming up, and we got some shows that we need to start picking what we're going to go to this year too.
Yeah.
So some of the big tattoo conventions, but the goal here is to get you guys involved in what we're doing. So we need you to be emailing us. It is the Closet of Nonsense, or the Closet of Nonsense podcast. If you go to our Facebook, you can find all the contact infos on there. Our YouTube has it all. You can obviously go to our PodServe and go direct. But we are on iTunes. We are on Apple Music and Apple Podcast or whatever it's called.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that Apple did that.
Yeah,
to be
it's got its own
honest with you.
podcast thing.
Spotify.
Yeah, you can go through Spotify. You can go direct to us. And if you just want to talk, if you want to call in, if you got an idea, like, hey, I want 15 minutes to spout off this
Yeah.
piece of random shit, do it. And you don't have to you can hit any of us up. I mean, hit up Job and get his ass back in the game because
Yeah.
we don't know what to do other than hit him with a cattle prod again. That's just, I think he's becoming immune.
Yeah.
There's only so many times you can zap somebody in the nuts.
Voltage, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's But yeah, no, seriously. If you
People are totally gonna think we do that.
Yeah. Who's saying we don't?
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
I just light 'em on fire.
know, that's a big part of what all this is about. So, you know, it's the nonsense. So,
yeah,
you know,
the more randomness. We have a whole list of shit to talk about that we
Yeah.
haven't got to yet. And I'll be honest with y'all. I've recorded 11 episodes that are just me, and I've trashed them all.
Yeah.
Because they're garbage.
Yeah.
It's just me, and I can't. I'm like, no. I don't need. I literally self psychoanalyze, and like February is rough as fuck, and it was like every episode I recorded was just super depressing.
Yeah.
Oh, like,
oh fuck.
Oh no.
I want to hear 'em.
Well, it's like you ain't ready for this. Like
Yeah.
woo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a little more introspective than was probably safe for.
It fell down the
anyone.
rabbit hole.
Bad. So,
Yeah.
all right, cool. Anything else you want to shout out?
What the fuck is up with cottage cheese, dude?
That's really gonna bug you. I'm getting ready to Google it.
Yeah,
because it is gonna bother me.
I'm gonna go home and make some.
My